This goes up faster than last time, and it did. It did not take me so long to load in. What is up, everyone? Right after a win, the return of Dave. We're feeling good. We're looking good. Everyone's got the enter on today. Mine's not as obvious, but it's good. Good day. Finally, my heart rate is back to normal. But Dave, since you're back, how's it going? What's been up?
Hey,
How
pretty
you
good,
feeling?
man. Pretty good. I'm feeling great. The last week or so, I've been just settling back in, getting back home and getting ready for the next semester to start. So more or less that's what I've been doing. A lot of moving and grooving, but it's good to actually finally have Inter back since we were not able to play against Bologna. And what a way to come back, man! A very dominant performance in the first half. Uh, I would have preferred a more comfortable win, especially the fact that they were the only team that did beat us. But I'm satisfied with what we were able to do today, based on the fact that Milan were on top of the table and that we had some pressure on us. So it was a very important win, and I'm feeling good about the team going forward for sure.
Yeah, yeah, a lot of pressure on this one. We haven't felt that pressure in a while because
Hmm.
it's been like us coasting against smaller teams, other teams dropping points, but
Yeah,
everyone picked up the wins they were supposed to today.
yeah.
Um, Ian, what have you thought about this match day? Like it's been insane.
Honestly, seeing Juventus go from 3-1 down to 4-3 winning with Roma missing a penalty, seeing Milan routinely put away Venezia, us eventually beating Lazio. I think it could have gone worse. We could have drawn. We didn't. I'm happy with the 3 points. Gagliardini played out of his mind. He did exactly what I expected him to do,
Hmm.
marking Milinkovic-Savic out of the game.
Yeah.
Can't complain.
Yeah, I was very impressed by that. Okay, that's the old Lazio Inter match. Yeah, I got it pulled up here. I mean, everyone had a decent game. Gagliardini, of course, was great in marking Milinkovic Savic, but in
Hmm.
possession, he was killing me, man. He was absolutely killing me. But he did what we asked him to do. No Chalanolu. I mean, that was pretty pretty crappy situation to have. I mean, we should have had him. Probably planned to have him for this match, but next man up. They were as flexible as you could be. Maybe that little bit of physical presence that Gagliardini brings made a difference. Um, but yeah, I mean, midfield was great. Um, Alexis Sanchez looked good for most of the match. We'll start with the first half. I mean, the first disallowed goal, like that was Alexis Sanchez. That was a beautiful ball. I mean,
Hmm.
that should have been a goal. That from there, that's where I started feeling a little nervous. I was like, is this going to be one of these kind of nights? Like,
Yeah.
Dave, what were you feeling by like around that time, around the disallowed goal?
Well, to be honest, I came into the match telling myself that I'm not going to be celebrating every single goal on Twitter. Just because like I told myself like okay we want to humiliate them and we want to beat them handily. So I'm thinking that until we're up 2-0 or 3-0, I'm not gonna say anything. So seeing that beautiful pass from Sanchez go through, watching it live, I'm usually very uh, careful as far as celebrating a goal, but I clearly celebrated that goal because looking at it live, it looked good to me. It didn't look like he might have been offside. If anything, it looked like Lautaro was a little bit behind him and he was able to make up the ground. So I was shocked to see that after they took however long they were taking to try to get their angles right, that they still decided that it wasn't offside. Because even watching the matches, um, the commentators were like, yeah, that's a clear goal. That looked okay to me. That looked okay. So it came as a shock to everybody, I would say. Um, but more or less that shows you the role Sanchez actually played in the team today, and that was more of a makeshift replacement for Hakan, who, as we know, he was suspended today. So we saw like Ian and you, Mikey, you guys mentioned earlier, we saw Gagliardini. He was pretty much assigned to Milankovic Savic. He was man marking them all throughout the pitch. So we had Sanchez drop in as that third midfielder and taking on the creative role. We saw that happen a lot, and that pass was a very good testament of that. And we deserve a goal for it. It sucks that it didn't count. We can't complain much because I guess now they've turned offside into a science where it's like it's not even subjective anymore. It's something that they're saying that they have lines that they made, and even if it's not visible at the naked eye, that it is what it is. So we're not gonna dwell too much on it, but it looked good. Even on the replay that I saw, to me it looked good. You know, I'm arguing about it on Twitter right now.
Yeah, I mean, it was a product of the modern interpretations of offside, and I mean, usually, like when I see those, you can see you're like, yeah, you know, you can still see some lines there, and like I couldn't see it in that one, but you know, it is what it is. We can't dwell on that one too much. I mean, I wish they would have looked at Immobile pulling back Skriniar as much as they would have looked at
Yes, yes,
that goal, because I thought there was a foul there, but because Skriniar is such a big dude and doesn't go down, that it's not called.
yeah.
But I mean, first goal, it was a defender. It was Bastoni. What a goal! I mean, what a performance by him. Goal and an assist. Like,
Ooh.
that was probably one of his best performances, you know, going both directions to date.
I think he's turning into a really, really complete player. We need to hold on to him for as long as we can, preferably until he retires, because finding a player that can do that, what he does, his size, truly, truly impossible. You can't put a price on him.
Yeah, for sure. And
No,
then the
100%.
assist after was a peach also, but I'm sure we'll get to that.
No, for sure, 100%. Especially just to piggyback off what Ian said, um, especially if this is going to be the system that we're going to be playing going forward. Having a left center back that can offer you that much going forward and still defend very well is it's not something that you can go and pick out anywhere in the world. You know, he's a rarity. He's one of those players that are, I mean, that's a word that we throw around a lot, but when you look at a talent like Bastoni, that's what the word generational was created for. When you see a guy that looks like oh my god, like he's so comfortable doing all of this. A center back is not supposed to be that comfortable, you know, but he is, and he single handedly won us the match today, like a creative genius. Long shot. Since Hakan was missing, he told himself, okay, you know what? Since Hakan's not there, I'm gonna do my best Hakan impression. Long shot, just like Hakan, and long assist, just like Hakan as well. So I'm very happy with him, and you know I have my personal little agendas because I've been comparing him to Delic, who by the way got sent off today for using his hands as always. So yeah, my agenda is very much thriving right now. I'm thriving.
Oh yeah, that's comparing a football player to a volleyball player. Like that guy Delict doesn't that is handball machine, and he like does not get forward. No one gets forward the way this guy does. I mean, after the goal, like he's back up there within the next like possession, like between Skriniar and I mean not Skriniar, between Perisic on the left and Lautaro in an actual striker position. Like he was way up there. He was putting
Yeah.
that 9 on the back of his jersey was going to good use up there.
Yeah, you know what? That's probably what his number is. Number means like, yeah, sometimes I'm a 9, sometimes I'm a 5. You know?
Just does it all, man. But what a great performance there. I mean, not as much the goal that was given up. I don't know how much we're gonna go into that. I don't know if we want how much slander we want to hand and who we hand it to. Of course, talking about Immobile getting through, beating Skriniar, De Vrij doing a little pirouette, and Handanovic doing whatever Handanovic was doing. I don't want to spend too much time on this because it was a win, but I'll start with you, Ian, because I know where your loyalties lie. Whose
I wanted
fault
to
was
let
all
Ian
that?
go first too, because I saw Ian doing some arguing on Twitter.
From Handanovic defense.
Me and Nima got into it. No, but yeah, so sad that Christo isn't here because I would have beefed with him as well because I know where he stands.
Speaking of Russo,
Yeah, just popped in the chat.
I think what's their name? De Vrij and Skriniar fucked up big time. You know, Skriniar for getting best in the league shouts for the center back, getting outdone by Immobile like that. Sure, fine, let it slide. De Vrij for being best defender shouts, just watching the ball fly over him. Sure, okay. And I know everyone loves to slander the keeper, likes to blame it on them, but like, what else are you supposed to do when your two center backs like one guy run past them, leave the ball by him, try and bunch it out? It didn't work this time. It might work next time, but it is what it is. We still won. So
yeah, for sure. I mean, I'm glad it's something that we didn't have to come back on here and talk about for more than 5 minutes. I mean, I think a lot of it is on the defenders as well. Like, I think, this is just my untrained eye looking at it, but Skriniar gets pulled back. De Vrij pulls up at the same time thinking there's going to be a whistle, gets the, spun around, and then by that time Handanovic is just like, it's sundowning or something, like just whatever an old man does at that point. Almost got to it, like, to his credit, but yeah, that was a bad goal to give up. That was shades of goals that I can remember in the past. Like last season to Juventus in the Coppa, I believe, was one that was similar to that, but it was Bastoni that was at fault. There's been some stuff happening like that. And you're gonna get that in a football team, of course. But yeah, going into the half, I mean, Lautaro should have had a goal, whether it was that first goal called off or if it was that like thunder of a volley, but it was straight at Strakosha. I thought he had a good half. I mean, like, looking at his ratings, I mean, these ratings aren't, the best thing to go by. Of course, there's some objectivity that needs to be put on them, but I mean, 6.6 for the match. Definitely would have been up if he had gotten a goal, but I thought he played well. I didn't think there was too much more he could have done, like, through the whole match. What do you think?
Well, personally, I wanted to touch back on the goal that we did concede. Yeah, it's something that you guys know how I feel about Skriniar. I'm wearing his kit right now on my back. That's a guy that I don't like saying anything bad about him when he does happen to put a foot wrong. But at this level, he has to do either of two things. First of all, you can't get caught switching off like that, because it's pretty much like he's ball watching or whatnot. And second of all, if you do get caught switching off like that, and then Immobile does something like that to you, you have to use your professionalism, not your professionalism, but your wit to pretty much you gotta go down, because regardless of whether people say he goes down easily or not, the fact that Immobile clearly pulls him, you have to come down, or even if you're not gonna go down, you clearly start calling for a foul, you get the ref's attention. But the fact that he didn't even act like it was a foul or something happened there, they easily let it go. If it's something that he cried for it, and then the team pretty much followed through, we would have had a gripe there that they would have had to look at it with VAR, and they would have had a hard time saying that, hey, listen, this is not a foul. That's one thing that I had against Virginia. And for De Vrij, he switched off. It's no excuse. I'm sure him switching off, it's like a domino effect with Skriniar switching off as well. But then again, it's not an excuse. You don't depend on your partner to decide whether you're going to be switched up or not. He should have been there to be ready and just knock it off with Immobile. And Andanovic, of course, he deserves some credit. I mean, some blame, because it looked bad, the fact that he came out like that and he didn't get anything. But in my opinion, that was the only thing he could have done. He couldn't, if he stayed there flat-footed, Immobile would have had all this time in the world to collect the ball and just slide it past him. I feel like he did everything that he could have done. But unfortunately, at his age, he's not as swift-footed as he used to be. We saw Onana playing earlier, despite the fact that he did make a mistake, but we saw this guy flying in the box. Like the amount of ground that he covers, that's going to be a big change of pace for us, and we're definitely going to see the difference. But yeah, Mikey, to touch also about Lautaro, I'm not going to go too long since I've been talking about the other subject as well. I feel like he did. I feel like he did play well. He deserved the goal today. It's one of those matches where you could say that, yeah, this guy deserved the goal. The penalty, we touched on it already. We can't say much because the science says it was offside. That's what I meant. But that strike, that's something that is becoming a pattern to Lautaro. He very much cleanly always catches those half volleys all the time, and it sucks that I guess Sarkosha was in the right place at the right time and he made this reflex save, but I don't think he knew anything of it, you know. But other than that, it sucks that he didn't get a goal, but the fact that we won and he played well is good enough. It's good momentum going into the big match we got coming up on Wednesday.
Yeah, for sure. I mean, he absolutely smoked Strakosha with that shot. Like that had to hurt. There's
Yeah,
not many
yeah,
times that I
yeah,
say that, but
yeah, for
getting
sure.
caught like that. Um, but yeah, I mean, not really anyone putting too many feet wrong. I mean, just a little bit of pressure from Lazio at the right times, and I felt like a lot of balls fell for them that weren't falling for us.
Yeah.
Maybe that's just me and like my anxiety over this, but
Mhm.
it seemed like every time, and then later in the match we'll get on to that as well, but like we couldn't win the ball like it looked like earlier in the season when we would just be hoofing it and neither striker could get onto the ball. But of course it didn't
Yeah.
cost us because we're getting more, defensively sound. And
hmm
Skriniar, of course, making up for his mistake with the goal. Great taken goal. I mean, he's like leaning back a little bit with that header. I mean, that's that just like Bastoni with his goal and the assist, like Skriniar with that goal. That's not what defenders traditionally do. That's not what defenders even usually do today. I mean, what can we say about this back three that we have? Like, it's amazing. It's such a luxury to have.
It really is a joy to watch, and we have the future of the Serie A defense in our team. We have Skriniar, who's 26. He's going to be good for at least 5, 6, 7 years. If he goes like Chiellini, he's going to be playing until 36. We have Bastoni, who's the gem of Italy. I mean, honestly, I saw on Twitter some shouts that he might be the most talented defender Italy ever saw. Having not seen Maldini, I can't really comment on that. But out of the current ones, from all around ability, he is very good. I think he's better than Bonucci at passing. We saw last year with the assist to Barella.
Yeah.
Tackling, great. Heading, aerial ability, great. We even saw him on set pieces. Like, I saw people being very, very anxious about set pieces. Who's gonna take them now that we don't have Calhanoglu, that DeMarco wasn't starting. But I mean, calm down.
But Ian, the second goal today was a set piece by design to Bastoni, so Bastoni could cross the ball to Skriniar.
Exactly.
My mind went, because I'm like, hey, we got this big ass kid over there. He should be in the box trying to win the headers. What are you guys doing? What's up, Sharma? But
Bastoni Hive, yep, we're getting heaping on the prize today.
Yes, sir. But we got this kid getting balls passed to him wide so he can put in a ball, and the ball that he's put in is a peach. And again, like you said, Mikey, that the header with Skriniar, it was more like a striker's finish because it was so well measured that he knows that he can lean back a little bit. And even then, he still almost missed it because he hit it off the crossbar before it went in. So it was very well measured. We're very much blessed, man, with those three players. Even French fry Steven Javrai, even the fact that he's having a subpar year by his standards, he's still playing great. He played great today, despite his involvement in the goal that we did concede. Let's enjoy it, man. We're very much blessed with those three players. Hopefully, we get to keep him forever. Mikey, I hope you're not ignoring the comment about your porn stash.
Oh no, yeah. I mean, I wouldn't call it quite that. It's a little thicker than that, but
It's getting there.
Everyone's got to have the little stash phase. You got to see if it
Mikey's
works.
working on the handle.
Yeah, I'm gonna curl it up next. No, but let's get into some comments right here. We got Christo over here. Yeah, Smiley calling out the stash. King Darian. Yeah, Dave does have the clean kit. We've got two of the loudest kits that you can have are like on display right now. Like if I were to go like change into the Sprite kit, like we would be blinding everyone watching right now.
Yeah, you actually own one, right?
Yeah, I have the Sprite kit. Yeah, it's like right behind me.
No, don't do it.
Too much sauce.
Too much sauce.
Too much the flashbacks of that kid too. No, but Hristo, what's Hristo got to
Yeah,
say?
this comment about Risto is very interesting to me because I think it's true that we lack players that know how to fall down. We
I think
see
Lautaro
Theo
knows how to fall down. He just doesn't know how to get fouled
Lautaro.
for it.
Yeah, he can't seem to get the
Mm,
calls. Even Barella,
yeah.
he falls down like he's been shot in the leg or something. He always dramatizes and I was like, "Oh my god, they killed our boy!" And then he's like, "Oh yeah,
Pops
cool."
right up.
I mean, there was one time where he fell like straight on his back, like the base of his spine, and I was like, "All right, he's dead. There's no way. There's no way he gets up from this." And he pops up, he like rubs his back a little bit, and then he's back like fucking 50
Usually when
yard sprints.
usually he complains to the referee, but when he realizes that he ain't getting shit for real, he just okay. I guess I gotta
Yeah.
keep playing.
What else
Uh,
we got? Indohari, Bastoni is a trequartista who plays center back as a part-time job. I think that's a very good description. I mean, his passing out of the back, I feel like that was something that stood out to me even like, when he was on loan at Parma, that was one of the first things. I was like, wow, this guy, he can hold together a defense. I think he was what, like 19 at that time.
Mhm.
And he was just playing those balls like so easily in a bad team. I mean, that was not a good Parma team.
Yeah.
But like this guy's been a gem from the start. That's why Inter kind of did unload for him at such a young age when we were like, who is this guy? Why are we putting together a deal worth 30 million for him? Like, are we gonna
Yeah.
end up like cooking books? Is this some Juve move? But nah, he was the real deal, and I think that was a really really nice pickup to have. And I am being harassed. My stash, that is the person who is also in the room with me, but thank you.
I was about to say, Mikey, you popping like that. Let me go shave my mustache.
Oh, yeah, we all everybody stash episode next episode.
Let's do it.
But what else was in this match? I mean, towards the end, I think is what I wanted to get to. Unless you guys had anything else, I was gonna go into that late pressure, where that Lazio did get into the box a couple times. There was that
Mhm.
corner at the end. There was, well, I think it was the free kick that was really awkward, where it went by Handanovic's net, was chopped back into the middle. I mean,
Yeah.
there were a couple of scary moments, and then the subs. Vidal looked not good. That was not a good Vidal appearance.
Mhm.
I hate to say it with Sharma, I know, in the house. That's his guy, and I like Vidal too, but that was a bad outing from him. DeMarco, he didn't instill the most confidence in me in this one. Um, but yeah, when it was getting down to the wire, was there any worry? I'll start with you, Ian. Was there any worry like that? This could be a match where we drop points late, like, or is that just my paranoia?
I haven't been this confident in an Inter team for a long, long time for us to hold on the lead, even when we were like toying with the ball in our box. There wasn't really a time where I was, okay, fuck, we might fuck it up again. I was like, okay, these guys know how to move the ball now. They've been doing it for 2-3 years now. I trust them. I trust them. Even though I'll admit I was a bit shaky when I saw Darmian with the ball after being back on the pitch in 2 months' time, I
Mhm.
think, something like that. It was like, okay, is he going to be rusty? Is he going to do anything? Is he going to do something stupid? I think it was cool. It could have gone worse, obviously, but I think everyone did their job correctly at holding the lead. Even Tuku Correa, I saw him do tackles. I saw him do runs. Gagliardini, I saw him make tackles, do runs, holding the ball up. No complaints from me.
Dave, what about you? Were you more on my side, or are you more on Ian's, where you're already
I,
like chilling
I'm,
back
I'm,
there?
I'm like, I'm sure you guys could see the shock on my face. Like, I can't believe this was Ian just talking. This is Ian's talking about his ever been so confident in the Inter team. What? Look at that. Things are changing here in the podcast. But yeah, Mikey. To be honest, I'll be honest. I was more on your side because what they got the ball in the net a couple of times, right? One of them was offside with Immobile, and I don't remember when the last time was. The other time was. So I was like, oh my god, are we gonna bottle this? We're gonna bottle this, are we? We're gonna bottle this. But we did have some moments where we did look confident on the ball. Brozovic mainly, every time he did have the ball, we felt safe no matter how close to the goal he was. Vidal seemed to he was rusty. He seemed to feel like he needed to give him a couple chances to make the things interesting. I guess he had some numbers he betted on that he wanted to make sure to cover. I don't know what he had going on, but all in all, you feel like even though they were giving it a go, it was more like a last ditch effort. It wasn't a plan that they had. Because for fuck's sake, their coach is sorry. It's not like they're playing little sorry ball, one touch here and there, and getting to the goal. It was more like they were sending players forward. You saw Lazari on going on those long solo runs and stuff like that. They were pretty much throwing everything but the kitchen sink at us to see if anything stuck, and nothing actually did because we do have that defense and we did what we needed to do. So even though I was closer to you, I did have my anxiety. I have to admit that Ian was right, and I'm sure that's what Inzaghi felt as well. Like, okay, you know what? They're gonna give us their best shot. There will be a last wave of attack to try to tie the game, but we have the able to save it. We showed that we did it as well. You know.
Yeah, yeah. I was thinking like during the match, like thinking like, yeah, no Chalanolu, like, we're
Mhm.
coming off of this long rest. There's gonna be some rust. I was like, it's gonna take somebody or one part of this team to take over this match, and it was the defense. For better or for worse.
Mhm.
Like in the attack and in defense late. I mean, there were some key feet being put in. Everyone was doing their jobs on the corners, on the free kicks that Lazio were getting late.
Mhm.
Lazio making those runs. There were a couple of times, but I think Ian was the more right person in all of this.
Yeah, we
But
got to give him credit.
yeah, yeah. I mean, I was getting a little worried late, and I was thinking before the match, I was like, man, if we lose, Twitter's gonna be unusable. Like it's just gonna be so much
Nah,
negative.
for real. I was thinking the same thing. To be honest, because don't forget we didn't get to play our match against Bologna. So because of that, when you look at the table in live time, Milan were on top of us. So it's like anything but a win today against Lazio was going to be an issue because we would have been suddenly back to second place, trying to climb back up to the first spot. And mind you, we have to respect Bologna because it's not an automatic that we would go out there and blast them 6-1 like we did last time. I'm sure they have that in mind, and I'm sure they'll be motivated to put in a more respectable performance. So whenever that match is played, it's gonna be a final for them. So I'm glad we were able to beat Lazio and we're still at the top. So that's the reason why I have the anxiety. But on the pitch, the players showed that they, like Bastoni said, we do have the patch on our chest, and it's not for any reason. So I'm satisfied with what we saw, and I guess I need to get back to where Ian is and feel confident in my team. You know?
Yeah, yeah. I think part of it was just having so much time off, and then it being the team that we did lose against,
Yeah,
and there
yeah,
was a pattern that we were talking about before coming on, where it's like Inter score against Lazio, get pegged back, chaos ensues.
yeah.
This time it wasn't that serious. Finally, nailed it down after getting that second goal. I'll go back into the comments here because we got a couple. Indohari, back to Bastoni when we were talking earlier. Yeah, that Parma did play a four-man defense. Um, I don't think I've ever seen him used as a left back. I don't think he got used as a left back at Parma, and I, I see where you're coming from, but I don't see this team moving to a back four at any point. And I mean, I
Mhm.
remember first season back in Champions League when we had like no right backs at all, having Skriniar play at right back, and it just didn't really come off right. So if a center back's a center back, maybe I'm like not looking at this modern enough. But if a center back's a center back, I mean, this is a guy that plays at striker half the time, but I'd still rather see him, at
Mhm.
least listed and starting in like the position he knows best.
Yeah. No, I think that is what makes him such a special player is the fact that as a left center back, he can offer us all of that going forward. Um, I don't think that if we do play a back four and then we want to deploy him as a full time left back, it would be as effective. because even though he does look elegant going in, he's still not as quick as you would want your overlapping left back to be and stuff like that. So I feel like that's the reason why he's such an effective player, such a special player for us, is the fact that he with all that he's doing, he's not lacking any defensive responsibilities. You don't see the hole that he leaves back there for him going on his long runs. We don't concede goals because he's going up there and stuff like that. So right now, Inzaghi has found something. He's found a niche, how you call it. Just don't touch it. Let him play with it, man. And I just love. I'm looking forward to seeing the next match because it seems like it's a new layer that he's uncovering every match that every training session that he has with those players. The more he's feeling confident. And by the way, we have to give Dumfries a shout out as well because I thought he was good again today. He had that one cross to Lotaro with on the volley that unfortunately he missed.
Yeah, it should have been an
But
assist.
yeah, but Dumfries is looking like a player. Definitely, he knows what he's doing now. It's not a player that we have to be worried about anymore. So him and Darmian could figure it out who's going to be playing the most, but he's definitely ready now.
Yeah, I think that you just gave me a perfect segue because, of course, he went off. Took a hand to the face, was holding his face, ended up
Yeah,
being subbed
yeah,
out. Hopefully that's not serious. Emiliano here saying that they should have had a red card, Lazio, and I think he's right. Zakanya came in and looked like he was just last season's Vidal trying to come in and hack down everybody. Got a yellow really quick. I
hmm
thought somebody was given a double yellow, or maybe it was an accident. I
yeah.
don't
It
know
was
what
an
happened
accident.
there. Yeah, somebody. But I thought Zakanya could have been sent off. He was already on a yellow card. He goes hands to the face on Dumfries, and Dumfries goes off. I hope it's not too serious, but we are in capable hands if it is Darmian that has to play.
No, for sure.
Yeah, it was just reckless from Takanya, Sure, I can see why he wouldn't get the second yellow, but like in the end of the day, it's reckless play. You see players get cards when they don't even connect what studs up just because it's reckless. This guy punched him in the face and got him subbed off. So
Yeah,
there is something there.
great shot. Because honestly, I was gonna defend him as well. I was gonna say, hey, from what I saw, I don't think he had any intent, any malicious intent to really injure Dumfries. It was more like he was being reckless. But again, yeah, that's a good example. Reckless, dangerous play. We see players get carded or sent off for challenges that don't even make contact. But this one, it not only doesn't make contact, but the guy can't even continue to play and has to be subbed off. So something should have been done. But hey, listen, that's this part of the thing about being an Inter fan. If there's nothing that we feel like we were hard done by, then it will get boring. I would not want to support Juve where everything's going my way all the time and I'm just kicking back. I need some controversy. So yeah, I'm in the right place.
Yeah, yeah,
Exactly, yeah.
yeah, for
hmm
sure. A lot of
Just like
controversy.
Indohari said in the chat.
Yeah. Oh yeah. Or straight on to his other comment. Steamrolling Spezia, Roma, Venezia, Salernitana, and then suffering against Lazio at the end. It's normal. Inter synonymous with suffering. I mean, not as
Hundred
much this
percent.
season as even last season, I would say. Like we're not that deep block suffer ball when we're like one up late in a match. So I mean that's been a nice departure for me. Like in my opinion, like I like seeing us press and not seeing the ball 10 feet from Handanovic with 10 seconds left in a match because that's a flip of a coin at this rate.
Yeah.
No disrespect to Handanovic.
hmm
Yeah, don't need an argument with Ian,
Yeah.
but yeah, I don't like because anytime you have the ball that close, even in a team as well drilled, I think as a Conte team is like once you get the ball there, it is any random event can be a goal. Like it could be a deflection, you could
No,
have a
absolutely.
handball. Like there's a
Absolutely.
lot of risk in that deeper suffering. Like this
Yeah.
kind of suffering, I can deal with that a lot better.
No, that's why you just don't allow those dangerous balls into your box, regardless of, like you said, if you're a well-drilled team like Conte, or if you're a more relaxed team like Inzaghi. If you're trying, the football guys will reward you. Just by sending players forward and sending balls into the box, some knockdown is gonna fall your way. You're just gonna have to swing your leg, and next thing you know, we concede the goal. That's that's kind of that's kind of how we conceded the goal today. The first time they tried, their first shot on goal, it was a goal. Just hopeful ball from Milenkovic Savic, and they got blessed by the football gods because our guys, like, we were playing so well that we forgot that we were defending. Like, hey, what's going on? But I'm glad we could joke about it because we were able to figure that out. But I'm glad we also did make that mistake in a funny way, because that's the same thing that we were talking about. We've been sitting on our asses for about a month. We haven't played any football. We're supposed to come back 3 days ago, but that was canceled as well. So the rust is out of the system, and now we're back to serious stuff. The next match is a big one, and the following one is the big one. So there's no time for us to be switching off and getting caught with our pants down like we were today. I hope we got that out of the way and that doesn't happen again.
Yeah, for sure. Ian, any comments back? You've been a little quiet the past couple minutes, so don't wanna smother you over here, like me and Dave.
I think Dave said everything that I wanted to say as well. He got spot on. No really further comment. What I do want to touch on is like and subscribe, everyone, for the win by Krista right in the chat. Also, if you look into the bio of our Twitter profile, you will see a link tree that has all our social media there. So follow us on Instagram and like us on Facebook.
Yeah, that's a new one. That's a very, very corporate plug. I like that.
He even sounds like it, bro. Like,
yeah, that was a
we
perfect
need
like outro or something right there.
we need to
I'll
record
do
him
it
and
again at the end. Don't worry.
we need to record him and make sure we speed him up so he goes.
Oh, I can do
Fine
that. I can do that naturally. Don't worry. No, but Kirsto said this was Gagliardini's 150th appearance. Honestly, seeing him perform the way he performed the last 3-4 seasons, who would have thought, eh? Look at this. Who would have thought, huh?
Yeah.
I didn't think he'd make it. And like a previous comment said before by M9 Gal said, that we had a lot of deadwood in the midfield. I really think he was part of this deadwood. No, I don't think he is. I think he has his place in the team. Seeing how if we play against a team with a higher midfield, we don't really have a lot of players that can challenge for the aerial balls. Like I'm just looking how tall Marcelo Brozovic is. He is 181 centimeters tall. I think our Gagliardini, he is our tallest midfielder, and even Gagliardini isn't that much taller. He is 188 centimeters, which is
a couple inches.
6'2",
How about
6'2 and a half. Vecino,
yeah, about the same height, I think.
Vecino's
But
going
he
out.
doesn't. Yeah. I mean, he hasn't counted for a while now, really.
187, so 6'2", yeah.
No,
but it's interesting to see how we really lack that quality depth. We were relying on Vecino and Gagliardini for so long, and now Vidal. But like when it comes to teams like Lazio, who else are you going to put? When we put out the tweets on the Brothers of the World's account on Twitter, who would you like to see start? Which you should follow. When we put that tweet out, who should start instead of Kalanoglu? I was surprised by so many people who said Sensi. Like, what are we going to do with a midget that's 168 centimeters tall, which is 5'8", maybe even less? What are you going to do with him in a midfield of Milinkovic Savic, who is over 190 centimeters, with Cataldi, who is over 180 centimeters, and Basic, I think his name is, who is also taller than him. Like, yeah, and I saw many times we saw Stokosha pick the ball up, kick it towards the midfield, and Milinkovic Savic, if someone else was marking him, he would have lost all those aerial battles. Who knows how the game would have went then. We had Gagliardini to disrupt him, so all things went according to plan. I think how our coaching staff envisioned.
Yeah, 100%. I think Gagliardini is one of those situations. His enter career seems like it's going to have a similar arc to Ranocchia's. It's a guy that came at a with a big price tag, and we bought him. I remember we bought him. It was a January market. We bought him from Atalanta, and how much is near $3 million, right?
I thought it was 35. Yeah,
something like that.
35. So. I guess it's a couple of for us to realize that he's not a $35 million dollar player or euros, whatever you want to call it. However, he is more than just a professional footballer. He's a player that I'm sure teams like Roma or even Lazio would just play would love to have him. And
I think Roma
so
would take
that's not
anyone at this point.
so that's a guy that we have to give him credit. That's a guy that he's been a very good servant to the club, and um, it's an automatic that we can just throw him into any match when it comes to Genoa or Sampdoria, and he's gonna score. He's gonna play very well. But hey, he's found his role in the team. He's the physical midfield, and today, if that was what Inzaghi told him he needed to do today, he executed that to the T. He was Milenkovic Savic's. I guess today the guy is Milenkovic Savic Gagliardini. That's his name because he has three names today because Gagliardini was like his shadow today, and he was following him everywhere, and that's the guy that always hurts us every time we play him. So the fact that we were able to take him out of the game and Gagliardini has his footprints all over it is something that we got to give him kudos for. And I'm glad he was able to win with us last year. So he's still a Scudetto winner forever, no matter what happens for the rest of his career. But
Yeah, for sure.
my long-winded way of saying we're at a point now where we're forgetting how much we paid for him. We're forgetting the high expectations he came with, and we're starting to take him for the seventh midfielder or whatever he is on our pecking order, and which is not too bad compared to what other teams have.
Yeah, I guess it's also worth mentioning that before Inzaghi made the switch, that it was a big rumor Gagliardini to Lazio. Like it was pretty clear that
Yeah,
the manager liked the player a lot.
yeah,
Very weird. I never understood that, but now you can kind of see what he wants to do. And Gagliardini's never going to be the most technically competent. He's not going to be the best to watch. I know we joke and call it like the Italian Lampard or something sometimes, but
yeah.
but he has found his spot, and I think that is that's all you can really ask of a guy that has been there that long that we know may not have been worth the 35 now, looking back at the time.
No, for sure.
Yeah,
He
but
has his place in the team.
yeah,
Let's call it like that.
yeah, harmony important, of course. But I guess Risto is I don't know what he's doing. I don't know if he's in the YouTube just looking at stats, but says that we just passed 100 subs, which 100 on YouTube, which is a pretty big milestone. I mean, we were pretty dead on YouTube for a long time before.
Oh, that's crazy.
Yeah, before starting, putting everything up, doing our streams through here instead of just recording audio. I've been Christo and I. We've been the OG since the beginning. So it's been years of working on this. So seeing that is pretty cool. Of course, Dave and Ian, our new breath of life into the pod, so to speak. Yeah, really appreciate you guys coming in. Has brought a lot to this pod. And looking forward to, and growing even more, seeing where this goes.
Onwards and upwards, baby.
Yes.
Onwards and upwards.
Hey, listen, we're going to the moon, man. To the moon.
To
That's
the
where we're
moon.
going. I want to say thank you to everybody, man. 100 subscribers. That's a big deal. Thank you for everybody that always joins us and always comment. We really welcome the comments. I'm sure you guys could see that sometimes the show even runs on the comments. So if you guys want to have us here all night talking Inter, we might be here all night talking Inter. So thank you guys. Thank you for subscribing, and we really appreciate everybody.
Yeah, for sure. What else do we have here going on in the comments? Speaking of,
Chiesa,
Indohari.
Delict, and Quadrado. Oh, yeah,
Oh
sorry.
no, okay. Well, I was gonna go with the one before. He just said Denzel. Talking about Dumfries is decent. Struggled to build up under the Lazio pressure. I mean, I kind of saw that. Like they were playing him very wide, and like I've said before, like he's best when he is like running past somebody. And I felt like he was, pushed a little further up. But I feel like he's learning that part of the game also. Like he's becoming a more well-rounded wing back, and it is a process. I mean, he may not be as gifted as Hakimi was, bringing up the dead, I guess, but he's doing his best. He's holding that side. He's making it his own. I think that's about all we can ask for.
Yeah. No, for sure. I think that's what it is. That's not his forte per se, to be playing one touch or beat the press. He's more of a guy that he has to have momentum running, and you just knock the ball forward for him to chase. When they do successfully press him, he does struggle because he doesn't have the quickness to play it like that. But other than that, he's very similar to Hakimi, I think, in that sense. But of course, a lower version. I'm satisfied with what I'm seeing. I can't criticize him much.
Yeah, we've been staunch supporters here on this pod, so we're not going back on that now.
Yeah,
Uh,
man.
so what was it that Histo was saying?
I think he's saying that Chiesa, Delete, and Cuadrado are missing the Supercoppa against us on Wednesday. I know about Chiesa. Chiesa looked like he was injured. He picked up an injury. It didn't look good. The league got a red card today, but I'm not sure what that has to do with the Super
It
Copa.
is.
It does.
The
It
red
does
card
affect
is for all domestic competitions. I
all
just learned that
connections.
today.
I just learned that. I just learned that right now. I just learned that. I was right now old when I learned that.
well,
And Cuadrado. I didn't know what happened to Cuadrado. What happened to him?
yellow accumulation, does that count as well?
Oh,
Yep. Let's
okay.
go.
Hey,
Oh
listen, we got
wow.
no excuse, man. Listen, we have to go and get this trophy. We have to go
Yeah,
and get the silverware, man, already.
yeah, their most dangerous attacker, their most dangerous fullback at this point, and I guess might miss Delict a little bit because it could have had a free handball somewhere, but I mean, Chiellini and Bonucci could be, poised to roll back the years as they seem to do
Yeah,
sometimes. That would be the only
yeah.
worry of that.
Yeah, and especially in the final, those guys they always have something in a fountain of youth that they could go and always get some more juice and prepare for the final. So I'm not really worried much about the lip, but Cuadrado and Chiesa, those guys are gonna be big, big, big losses for them.
Yeah, and
Um,
especially like I've seen some worry about Chiesa maybe have done in like a serious like
it
knee
it
issue, like a
it,
ligament.
it looked
ACL.
bad, man. It looked bad, man. I mean, I guess we're gonna have to wait till tomorrow when they actually do an MRI, but it was non-contact and stuff like that, and he knew it right away. Usually, what they say is that players could just feel it pop,
Yeah.
So
That's
if
the
that
worst.
if it was the case, then he knew it right away, and he was calling for a sub. I hate to see stuff like that happen, no matter who the player are playing for, but it sucks. It sucks. But good news, I guess, for Juve fans is that Dybala seems to be catching form at the right time, and this guy seems to always play his best matches against us as well. So let's see what happens.
Yeah, and especially with Chiesa, I mean that's the Olympico pitch, I guess, taking another victim. I mean that got Zaniolo and Demiral in the same match a couple years ago. Like that pitch at the Olympico in Roma is notorious for injuries. I'm
Hmm.
not entirely sure why, but like I've seen it talked about like pretty often, and I mean you're starting to see a pattern. So yeah, beware of playing at the Olympico, I guess. But um, and if it really is that serious of an injury, that's an issue for Juve in the long run. I mean, they're already pretty far down. I think they're seventh right now. But I mean, no one has counted fifth. Okay, they moved up to fifth, but no one really counts those guys out, even when they're down this bad. But that would go a long ways to their demise this season. But I'm not going to hope for it in that manner. Um, what else do we have? Indohari talking about set pieces. Yeah, and set pieces, of course, is something that I think we've seen a lot of this season. Free kicks, corners. Of course, Chalanolu was a miss today, but Alexis Sanchez could have had a goal off of a free kick.
Yeah,
Yeah, the corners were still dangerous. I mean, everything still looked like it was flowing as usual. Um,
yeah, for sure.
just- yeah. What else? I
But
think
yeah,
we're
I mean that's a
Michael.
very, 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 very good point. Androhari, I wanna actually touch a little bit more on that. Yeah, it's not just Hakan like we thought as well. It's like we saw today. It's stuff that you see that they practice on the training field, and the way it comes out with who was it? It was Perisic that played it to Bastoni, and then Bastoni crossed it to Skriniar. It's those things by design, and you see that
yeah.
it's always satisfying for a coach when you see the fruit of your hard work is actually paying dividends on the pitch. And for us fans, it's something that we definitely got a shout out as well. So good shot for sure. Our
Yeah.
set pieces are very good.
Yeah, we'll take a couple more and then probably get on out of here. I'm not gonna try to pronounce it, bro. I'm sorry, but M9 Gal, M Ninja, whatever. I'm not gonna
Mhm.
try it. But who to enter replace with Vidal, Vecino, and Sensi? Vecino, of course, we know could be on the way out.
Mhm.
Sensi probably as well. Vidal, that would be a lot of wage off of the club, but
Mhm.
I don't know of any direct named replacement so far. I know we talk like Fratesi, we talk about a lot.
Yeah.
I've seen a couple of guys who could be free agents this summer, like Alwar out in France.
Mhm. Yeah,
I've
that's
seen a
next
couple
summer.
of
I think
others.
2020, 2023, summer 2023.
Yeah, maybe.
Mhm.
Yeah, I'm pretty.
Zakaria
Zakaria, I haven't heard much about
Yeah,
him.
Zakaria is this summer. He's gonna be free. Yeah, but I think Juve are all over him.
and the Prem
But
teams, so we can't really compete with their wages.
Yeah,
yeah, I mean, yeah, that's true. I'm really having a hard time seeing us move one of those guys because I also have an equally hard time seeing who we will replace him with. Fartesi is not. There's no way that they're gonna let him move mid-season. Absolutely no way because they're him. Scamacca, Raspadori, and Berardi, they have something good going on over there in Sassuolo, and I'm sure they would want to make at least a Europa League spot or something like that. So they're not gonna jeopardize that to try to help us out. But I haven't seen us being linked to anybody else. That's why I'm thinking that maybe it means that those guys are staying. At the very least, maybe Sensi because he wants to get some playing time and try to make it to the squad for the World Cup. But other than that, I don't see us either selling one of those guys or replacing anybody. It was Nunez, but with the rumors going around him and this possible domestic violence situation, it sounds pretty bad. And those things have cooled. Those rumors have cooled off very very well. So I don't know what's gonna happen.
yeah. I don't think anyone's leaving. I mean, Inzaghi's been pretty adamant that like he just wants to keep the squad because I
Um,
mean, I'm sure partly because there aren't many alternatives going around right now.
yeah.
For the summer, I think that would be a different story. I think something could be done. I'm
Hmm.
But too
sure.
early to say, I
Yeah,
think.
it's too early to stay. I mean, we have a very proactive management. I think that are going to get it done. I don't worry too much about it, but yeah, it's too early to know
Hmm.
it right now. I mean, the most we can hope for is Vidal to make it to the end of the season. He's going to miss like the next 3 matches for Chile because of a ridiculous Felipe Melo type challenge that
Yeah.
he put in. So that'll be an advantage actually, not having him, crossing the Atlantic Ocean twice in 2 weeks. I like this one, Emiliano, talking about comparing Gagliardini to João Mario and Raja Nainggolan. He's much better and still here. I mean, in their inter careers, yeah, João Mario was. We know what he was, and Nainggolan was finished.
Oh my
So yeah,
God.
I mean, for him to be the last man standing out of those guys from that time is quite funny, really to think about. I think that's about it. Yeah, Lautaro did need to, not get a yellow card in this match, which is, a tough ask for him sometimes. Maybe that's why he was a little quieter. But he did the best he could, I thought. But yeah, I was a little worried after hearing all the guys that were going to be missing for Juve that you
Um,
know maybe this is the tinfoil hat going on, but the first leg stuck out by Lautaro might have just been the yellow.
Yeah, yeah. I mean, I'm sure the ref would have given it to him as well because, again, it's part of us. Maybe it is a 10-4 hat for us Interisti. We always have an issue with the referee. Today, like I was livid because at the first half ended, we won the corner, and he was like, "No, there's no time, whatever." And as the game ended, the minutes ended, and then Lazio won a corner as well, and he allowed them. So I'm like, look at you, you found it in your heart to let them take the corner, but for us, you couldn't. So it's little things like that I just don't like referees, man. And I'm glad we could laugh about it because it didn't affect us. But little things like that matter. You know.
Yeah, I was a little worried about that too. When I saw that, like he was giving the corner, I was like, "Oh God, this would be where they score. This would be it.
On the last kick, yeah.
It would be like the 3-3 derby against Milan, like 5 years ago now, where it was Christian Zapata scoring, and then it's the ref like talking about his watch, being like, "Yeah, there was still time, even though everyone's like, no, there
Yo,
was
what the
not."
hell? Yeah.
Yeah,
I like the tweets by Sia that said first half goal, VAR situation with an offside check at the start of their long check, 1 minute added, corner not beaten at 45 minutes. Second half, the complete opposite.
yeah,
I mean,
it was.
I don't have a problem. Well, this is going to sound weird, but I don't mind having us being screwed over by a decision. At least keep it consistent. At least try and do that. I mean, come on, man.
Yeah, and I mean, I guess I get the argument that you'd be like, oh, well, the end of the first half is way different than the end of the match. Maybe you argue that the referee has been, carrying the time the whole match, even though obviously he gave extra time. He gave extra time in the first half, so you can't really go to that one. But yeah, I thought it was pretty curious for him to let that go.
Man, that's what it is. Okay,
Gotta
that's
give
what
it
it
to
is.
Mourinho.
Let's call it what it is. Hey, since you guys been doing the thumbnails, we're gonna do thumbnails. Like, I
Is
know,
everyone like this? Nah, we can't do
I
that.
know
We
Chino,
won. Man. We can't
I know
have
Chino's gonna like that one. Chino ain't gonna like that one.
No, we won. We can't be going too much ref heavy on the thumbnail. Got to get Hristo in on this. Hristo, are you still in here? Maybe not.
If he isn't, I have a thumbnail idea, so we can continue the gag from last time.
Are you? No, you're not gonna. No, you're not gonna.
Don't know if they've signed.
Are you gonna do? Is this gonna be an every win thing now? Is this gonna be an every win? Every win we get it.
Take the L Lazio. Take the L Jerry Mancini, who is too afraid to come here to face us.
Oh no! Leave my guy Jerry alone.
Nah, Jerry, love you. Love you.
Yeah, miss him. Wish he could have gotten on. It would have been a fun chat. We'll get him on soon. Need to get him and Alex Dono both just hijacked the whole Calcio connection to come on. It's been a while.
Yeah, that'd be fun.
Yeah. So maybe look for that in the future. But yeah, I mean,
only one way to find out.
Subscribe, hit the little button, get the notifications, follow the Twitter, follow the
everything
Facebook,
Risto said.
Yeah, Hristo like not even on tonight, but still wanting to farm the interactions and farm the likes and subscriptions. I don't know. I don't know if that's respectable or questionable at this point.
Nah, all is fair game. All is fair game.
We're carrying this guy today, bro. Come on now. Nah, it's all good. It's all good. But yeah, we're pushing an hour. Do we have any part? Oh, Hristo. Yep. I don't know what the yep is, but yeah, we got you, bro. We got you. But pushing an hour. Any final comments you guys want to have? I know we got the Supercoppa. We probably won't get live before that one. So if you guys want to maybe take a crack at a prediction or anything, yeah, floor's y'all's.
Well, with those matches, you never really can predict. Not only is it a derby versus Juve, but also it's a final. So form kind of goes out of the window. Although what we did mention, we are gonna have some advantages with the likes of Chiesa and Cuadrado and De Ligt missing for Juve. We're not gonna have anybody missing. We're gonna have a full complement of our players, and with the form, we have no reason not to win. So I say we can go out there and I'll say 2-1 Inter. That's my prediction, and I guess we're gonna have a reaction to it. See how that goes.
Yeah, hopefully a good one if we have one.
Mikey,
Ian,
what do you think?
What do I think?
What do you think?
I mean, I saw a stat. You probably saw me looking over. I had the last of the Paramount post match on, and they kind of got into that in the last. Yeah, I respect it. It's better than having to try to dig for BN Sports back in the day here in the U.S., which was hell for a few years. But they said that the only time these two teams have met in a Supercoppa, it was 2005. It was an Inter win. I'm gonna go with the same scoreline, 1-0.
I don't know what's going to happen. I just know penalties will be involved.
Oh,
I think
God.
we'll go all the way to penalties.
Uh-oh.
I hope not.
I don't know. Just my
That would
feeling.
that
Just
would
my
be
feeling.
that would be such a crapshoot having Chesney, who's having a pretty rough season, and Handanovic trying to lift their
Safe penalties.
teams to a title.
But Handanovic is the keeper with tied most or even most penalty saves in the Serie A. So
Yeah, but I mean, how many has he had in the past couple of years? I mean, he had the one on Ronaldo last
True.
season, but he put it right back to him.
yeah, but in a penalty shootout, you don't have rebounds. So
Oh, yeah, true. That is very, very true.
I don't
And
know. We'll see.
Dahari chipping in as well. A little bit of background on that match because I mean, I was 6. I was not around for that one. Varane scored. Juve had a disallowed goal. That would be fun. That would be fun. That would be. I might have to pick my heart up off the floor, but it would be fun.
For us to be
I
on
don't,
the other end.
Yeah.
yeah. Actually, I don't want any sorts of controversy, man. I can't
Oh,
handle any. So I just want.
Dave said
I
no
want to.
energy, none of this energy. I claim.
I want a clean win, and hopefully we could cruise through it. Even I'm not expecting it, but yeah, hopefully I want silverware. I just want the first trophy, and then we could start thinking about, hey, listen, let's get the Scudetto. Can you imagine like 2, 3 trophies? Let's say we can go win the Copa as well. That would be a
Domestic
beautiful season for us
treble.
domestically, man. Like, listen, I'd love it.
They
I'd
sound like
love
a
it.
Scottish. It sound like one of the big Scottish teams winning a domestic treble every year. That's what happens over there. I can't think of the last time it happened here. I'm sure Juve did it in their run, but it would
Yeah,
be getting this one will be a big step to getting the other ones. New
yeah, for sure.
manager, getting that first trophy, the players seeing it go up. I mean, that would just add to the hunger after last season. I think it would be
No,
great.
for sure, for sure.
But yeah, I think we're about it.
Anything else?
I'm out.
Mind if I do the outro?
Yeah, go ahead.
Oh shit.
So, first of all, thank you for 100 subscribers. Really, really appreciate it. Fun fact, 52% of all the viewers are not subscribed. So hit that subscribe button somewhere where my fingers are pointing. I think.
It's somewhere down there.
I don't
Yeah.
know, somewhere around there. Also, at BOTW Pod on Twitter, we have a new link in the bio. Linktree. Click it. You have all the important links for us that you need to find. Anchor FM, where you can stream all our podcasts. Facebook. Sure, why not? If you're a 40-year-old white male, go at it. Instagram, if you're a bit more hip like we are, the young people, go at it. Anything else? I think I covered everything.
You were going so strong.
Fuck.
No, I think that was it. That was it. That was good though.
That was good. Be on the lookout for a TikTok where we will teach dances. Kristen and I.
You speaking French, bro.
Oui, oui.
No, I don't know about we there. But yeah, a lot of good things going on. Thank you guys. I know it was about 10-minute notice before coming on. But it's been a good episode. Yeah, thanks everyone for being on. Ian, Dave, of course, and everyone in the comments, everyone watching. We'll see you.